So now our topic is this simple. How can a youth identify him or herself in the society out there? So we want to digest this as people get to know you more and more and more and more like this.
Okay.
Najjemba, Rebecca, what's your take?
So I think basically identity is who we are.
Definitely.
And that's something that is brought up or is groomed since we are kids. No kulanga bakugamba ye omwana nali bwati. So you take that on and usually think that's your identity and that's who you are and start behaving that way. So sometimes tusanga abantu nga bamuta mulokole ngenda wa mulokole wa, like just because of what you've been doing, the character that you've been doing, no chambala, so it becomes part of you. And sometimes unfortunately we have the negative identities and then the positive, but basically tubeera nyo ne negative image about ourselves. Nobanga chebakulaga ng'okula when you are growing up is the negative side of you. Nebakulaga your weaknesses nezibanga zezili portrayed out, and you grow up into a youth, an adult, and you think, man, I'm this, I'm just doomed. I should be something else, but I can't do that because my identity is actually covered and it's brought down by other people. But then we have to reach to an extent where we define ourselves based to what our Creator says. Because our Creator says that we can do all things and we can do anything through Him. And if we define ourselves but what other people say, tuba tugenda kubanga we are stuck, we can't do anything because bagamba ndi kino, and we take it on nti ekyo kye tuli.
Definitely.
Which isn't right.
I've seen this around our communities, the areas we live around. Abazadde abamuya nga baconfessing ebigambo ebiri negative eri ku baana baabwe. And one time I had the parent speaking negative alongside, her child. Nemugamba, negwe lwaki omwana wo mugamba ebigambo ebibi. Does it carry on? Does it prone our identity in society? For example, waliwo abazadde abavuma abaana like, ng'oyo omuzadde avumira ddala omwana okitegeera gwe mwana gwolinga kino. Does it prone our identity at any point of time?
Yeah, the bad thing with that is abazadde baffe tubalabanga our role models. That's why wetubanga tukyali baana batoye nenzija nenkukuba, I run to my parent knowing that she or he will protect me. Kati wembanga
our parents be our refugee.
Wembanga those words mbiwulira from my parent nti I'm stupid or I'm this, I take them into my mind and I believe them to be very, very, very true.
Do those words identify you in the community?
Yeah, when you grow up or chambala nti olaba ne mama wange yangambye kino, that means ekyo kyendi. So neobanga you're going for a job interview or anything, oyina mu kiri nti you're stupid from your role model nti you're stupid, ogenda okutuuka into the interview room and you're already shaking and you're already nervous and you're like mu mutwe gwe it's like, I'm stupid, will I do this? So you already have it as an identity into you, but then it's not the fact, it's not the real identity that you should be wearing. So I think we need to know how to transform from the identities that we are raised from, or we are raised with, into the identity that our Creator wants us to be with.
Wow, that's super massive. Being with the positive vibe, with the positive identity in the community. There are very many youths out there that they have a low vibe. People do not respect them. How would you advise those people out there?
There are very many ways where you can raise your vibe and all that.
Yeah.
But the number one is through God.
Yes.
In the Bible we have a kagai. I call him a kagai because when I read the Bible, he's just a young kagai.
Yeah.
He's called Gideon. And when we look at Gideon, we might read the Bible and we think that he was a mighty man, but he's a guy who used to run into hideouts because the enemies were looking for him. And he was like, so scared, I can't do this. So he would go into hideouts. Yeah. But then when the angel of the Lord came to him, it was like, mighty warrior of God. Yeah. That's so different. Like, the world is seeing you as someone who should go into hideouts, and then God is seeing you as someone who can defeat and overcome anything that comes your way. So if you look at yourself through the eyes of the environment, through what the society says, you are doomed. But if you look at yourself through the eyes of God, through the word of God, you'll tap into your potential, because God has invested a lot of potential into us. We can do mighty things, but the environment is breaking us down.
Wow.
So the best way you can raise yourself up, bring the potential high, it's through knowing God and bringing him closer to yourself, and then knowing what he's saying about you.
Definitely. Onagambi, thank you for the show, Sharif. Onagambi, this is Kisubi Baba watching him from Mukono. The girls have said it all. Big up Trisha Ella, peace. Okay, thank you so much, Mukono people, for watching the show. Now, I don't know, you guys have nice words and you sound so brilliant. How about you come back next episode of the show?
It will be a pleasure.
Trisha, this side.
Yeah, that would be an honor, because as I told you earlier, speaking to the public and sharing out what you have, what you think in mind, it's always better, and that makes me proud. You know, so that would be a pleasure.
I think next time we shall have calls, and you people out there, these people are still young, but they've experienced life and all that kind of stuff. So you people will call in to ask some questions, positive questions only. One last word to all the youths watching you on TV.
I think the last thing I should say to you all, never give up on your visions. If God invests a vision into you, stick on it. Sometimes you'll find people that would want to lower you down, that will say you're not fit for it, you're too this, you're too that for it. But if it's in your mind, that means it's up to you to bring it out. Let them try to stop you, but God is always there for you, to support you, to help you through everything that you think is so hard. And if you believe in yourself, man, everything will work out.
Who are those people you're sending shout-outs to, Trisha?
Yeah, as to me, I thank you all for watching KSTV. I send shout-outs to my family, obviously. I thank God for you guys. Have always been there for me, and you've always done everything for me. And I believe we are still moving. I send shout-outs to Juicy Makula. He's an artist. He's a friend of mine. He's an upcoming artist.
Okay.
Yeah, he's watching. I believe you're watching. My friends, Emma, Shanita, Prim, Churny. I send shout-outs to all of you guys. Thank you for watching. Yeah, that's it.
Definitely. I will not exhaust these guys, because hopefully they are coming back next episode of the show as we discuss more about life issues and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, every microsecond of Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. Yeah, we'll be here, man, to spice up your weekend now with the coolest vibes. Words of knowledge, words of wisdom, party, entertainment, edutainment, all spiced up in one show.